2022, episode 2. Woo! This is the MCU Marvel 2022 Hype Rankings show. I'm your host, Brandon Davis, joined today by Jenna Anderson.
Hey, everybody. Do you know how to do a normal intro anymore, or is it always be chaos every single time?
Was that not normal? Is that
fair? I guess it's our normal at this point.
We got Jamie Jirac in the virtual building.
Good morning.
Good morning, West Coasters over there. We have another West Coaster, Aaron Perrine, joining us today.
I'm awake now. I'm super stoked and ready to go. Brandon leading us in, brand new graphic, brand new everything. 2022, let's get it.
That's it. 2022, we're about to tear it all down. This is the MCU Marvel. It's kind of like, it's MCU, but like, is it MCU? We have two movies part of this that like, are they MCU? Whatever, I don't care. They're part of the list. It makes for a longer show. So we're going to rank all 11 Marvel movies and TV shows that are coming from Marvel Studios and Sony this year. And it's going to be chaos. And you have seen our previous rankings episodes. You all were very, very gentle, so friendly about it. Wow, everybody was so nice, right, Jamie?
I got bullied off Twitter.
Here's the thing. We could see the people who watch the show every week or listen to the show every week because we know your names because you're in the comment section, you're tweeting with us regularly. And then there's the dickheads whose names we don't know who were being rude. Guess what? We don't care what you say. We don't know you. Who are you? Okay, that's it. Sasha Banks on them. All right, so we're going to start off. We have our first full list. We're just going to reveal Jim Viscardi's list because he's back in jail because he couldn't just participate in this like a normal person. He had to send this list. Richard, if you could just bring up the image. This is Jim Gelsa Viscardi's 2022 rankings. Number 11, Moon Knight. 10, Moon Knight. 9, Moon Knight. 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, Moon Knight. 3, 2, Moon Knight, and 1, Moon Knight. So Jim is back in jail for the week because he couldn't just participate in today's show without having a moongasm. So there it is. And that's our show. All right. I don't know. I'm just on one today. I'm sorry. I'll reel it back in. We're going to jump in. Aaron has the task of going first in our rankings. Unfortunately for Aaron, he draws the virtual short straw that is never even drawn. It's just the way the graphic is made. So, Aaron, we have 11 Marvel movies and TV shows to rank, and I'm going to just hand it over to you.
Oh boy, the OCD just firing for a big 11. So let's see here. To kick things off, I'm sorry, Groot lovers, Vin Diesel enthusiasts, family lovers, car racing people. I'm putting I Am Groot last, unfortunately. And I am a person who loves animation, so this is kind of shocking for me. But I just don't really know what to expect. I am probably looking forward to Brandon Davis's conversation with Vin Diesel, where he inadvertently spoils Guardians 3 for us more than the show at this point, because that just happens. Don't let BD get around Vin Diesel or Tyrese, because weird stuff happens.
Next time we're going to find out Morbius is part of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Please, Tyrese, if you're out there, I know you're on Instagram all the time. Let us know. Clue us in.
All right. Number 11 for Jamie.
Oh, gosh. Here's the thing. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. When you've got a vampire movie featuring Michael Keaton and I'm not excited about it, something is wrong. Sadly, for us all, Morbius is is number 11 on my list. You don't understand how much I wish I was excited for this movie. But there are just certain people I'm just not really a fan of that I won't name. You can guess if you really think hard about it. So that's where we're at. That's my number 11.
We got our first super hot take. I don't know if that's super hot, but that's fair. All right, Jenna, what's dead last in your excitement here?
I do want to say the chat is asking. Brandon and I did not plan Captain America shirts today. That was totally unintentional. Yeah, we're both twinning. People in the chat are like, "We're twinning," and I'm like, "Did not plan that at all." So, as you know from our last rankings episode, I just love good Marvel content. I don't necessarily care what studio it comes from. I know I got some flack for ranking Venom relatively high on my list. It's just is a thing of like, if you get the 90s nostalgia and if you kind of can make me care about a character that I don't normally care about, then you have me hooked. Morbius is dead last for me because it is not doing that for me at the moment. I want to be proven wrong. I want to like elements of this movie, but at this point, my hype for it is just nowhere near everything else on this list at this point.
Wow.
Love you,
Vampire
Jenna.
disrespect. My number 11, I'm gonna go with Aaron's pick here. I Am Groot is sitting in 11th for me, and I big fan of James Gunn. Peacemaker is a lot of fun, man. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just am not really that excited for I Am Groot. It's original shorts, so like are they gonna be like the Frozen shorts? Are they fully animated? I'm not really sure. Is anyone in it besides Groot? I don't know. But I think this one is just supposed to be a fun kind of content opportunity, like placeholder type of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating how fun this will be. It'll probably, just be some quick fun entertainment. We'll all run to Target, buy some new Baby Groot merch because we don't have enough of it in our lives. And then I think we will just quickly move on. James Gunn, if you're watching, 11 is the best. Like 11 is the number one ranking. All right. So what a interesting split there. All right, Aaron, I think I might know what your number 10 is.
You don't probably. I don't think you do, because it's the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the stuff from it yet, so I don't know where it is. This infuriates my family and my friends because I just don't have a good basis to form an opinion, and unless something really crazy happens, I don't know. I'm just sitting there like I don't know. So that's it, number 10 for me. I'm sorry. Go watch Peacemaker. It's fun. You'll be listening to hair metal in your off time like I was while we were writing about it. It's good.
All right. Going with the rest of the crowd, I Am Groot is my number 10. What you said, I mean, it's Groot's cute. But as I've said a million times in the show, I'm not a huge person in the animation world. Yeah.
I'm laughing at the comment section saying Aaron hates Christmas.
It's been said before.
Aaron, you Grinch.
Yeah, you're the Grinch of the show.
Apparently.
As he sips eggnog at 9 in the morning over there out of that. Yeah. All right. So I Am Groot number 10 for Jamie. Doesn't seem to be big hype for I Am Groot. One person has I Am Groot possibly high on their list. Jenna, is it you?
I mean, I have I Am Groot at number 10. I think it has the potential to really surprise us. I think, as people in the chat pointed out when we were talking about it last week, the showrunner worked on Adventure Time, so it's like it could potentially like be that kind of animation that really pulls on your heartstrings and like takes you on a journey. But we know nothing about the show at this point. Like you said, we don't know any other characters. There's a lot that is still up in the air. I think I'm going to end up really enjoying this show, but I know I'm going to enjoy everything else on this list more, so it had to be at number 10.
I think that's fair. I think we all are kind of on the same page about I Am Groot. Like, yeah, we're going to watch it day one, but also, like, I'd rather watch pretty much everything else, unless you're Jenna and Jamie, who really hate Morbius. My number 10, and I'm going to preface this with 10 through 8, I feel like all could switch up for me quite a bit, and I'm excited for everything this year, but my number 10 is Miss Marvel.
Wow.
I do enjoy Kamala Khan, and it looks like Mon Vellani is having a lot of fun playing this already. I really enjoy the work of Bilal Falal and Adil El-Arbi. Mishka Ali seems like she's really caring about the character. I think I'm a little nervous about this one because of all the rumors and speculation about reshoots and her powers looking different than the typical Embiggen effect. Like, I feel like the Avengers game got Kamala down really, really well, and I hope this captures that same energy. I think I'm just a little nervous about like all the kind of conversation that has been around this show so far. Like, I think Captain Marvel is like a fine movie. I think it's going to tie into that. And it's not a movie that I'm like in love with. And I hope that this show surprises me. I think it's going to be one that ends up climbing the ranking quite a bit by the end of the year. I don't think it's going to be number 10 at the end, but right now, if I had a chance to watch other things, I'd watch those first. So it had to drop down to number 10 for me. And I think ultimately, it gets me much more excited for the Marvels. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
The entire chat wants you in jail right now.
I know. I knew that was going to be tough.
The internet's such a fickle mistress. They were all yelling at me, and then they just turned, which is like good for me, but not great for BD. At 9, I have Morbius because people who even outside of our normal nucleus all were like, you guys just don't like anything that's not like this MCU brand stuff. So I'm gonna give you a chance. Give you a chance. I used to do this, with my Browns fandom. I give them a couple games before I just switch back to apathy. You got a couple games to figure it out. I do think that a certain Spider person being in it, I have a weird feeling that maybe, just maybe, some of the internet speculation might be right, and that would quintuple. Suddenly, everybody would switch their tune on this thing. So I'm willing to give them a shot. I'm willing to see what happens.
All right.
I respect your take on Morbius. Somebody.
Oh gosh, it's me again. So I would like to preface, we're not going to say that 10 times today, that 9 through 1, I'm excited about. I'm excited about everything else on this list. So this was a hard ranking to do, and especially because we don't know what's going on. I was so nervous to say number 9, and now I don't have to be, thanks to Brandon. I have Miss Marvel at number 9.
Wow.
Oh, welcome to jail. Rumi.
I know. And the only reason is because I don't know the comics character that well. And when I don't know a comics character very well, the only thing that's going to get me hyped is the cast. And I don't really know anyone in this cast. And that's exciting because eventually I'm going to love them all. I'm sure I love teen stuff. I'm sure I will love this show. It's just at this point, there's nothing that I know. So that's why it's low, but I'm still excited. And like Brandon, I was also born in New Jersey. So look at us being controversial.
Born in New Jersey. I'm pretty sure I own the comic that is the first appearance of Miss Marvel. I hope the show is fantastic for my own self-interest. And because we're gonna, I agree with what you said. I think you even said it possibly more eloquently than I. But good luck to us. We are sitting together in jail. I like the top bunk. So Jenna, you're up.
I'm worried I'm gonna go to jail for my number 9, but I have reason.
Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
Not yet. Again, I will preface the same thing that Jamie said. Basically, 1 through 10, I am very excited for in one way or another. It's just a thing of certain things have to fall where they may. And for me, the anticipation and the speculation around this movie is so different, and it is so bittersweet to a large extent because of certain things that have happened since the first movie came out. And so it is this thing of, I am hyped for this movie, but I also recognize that it will be a different, very bittersweet and weird emotional experience to have to go through this era. So number 9 for me is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I am so excited to see more of this cast and how they branch out Wakanda, but I know the experience of going through that era will feel completely different from the rest of the MCU for this year. So it kind of had to fall where it did because I know there will be genuine hype for everything else on the list.
Yeah. I have a similar explanation for where I placed that movie on my list. I respect that. I think you put that. I think it makes sense. Anybody else have a comment on Jenna's number 9?
I'm just cool. The chat doesn't hate me. Good. Okay.
This is the scariest thing when I know we're gonna keep doing it, which is just.
I know we're only at number 9.
Yeah,
but
in life.
Oh yeah, this is the hard part though.
Yeah.
The bottom tier stuff. The bottom tier. Oh my god, I just threw shade at I Am Groot and Miss Marvel. I didn't mean to. The stuff that's towards the bottom of our list though is always the stuff that the people who really like those things or excited for those things are always I hate you for not liking it as much as me, and I get it. All right, Groot fans, I know. All right, my number 9 is Morbius. I think this is only number 9 because it's a Sony Marvel movie, and after 2 questionable at best Venom films, I get a little skeptic about when Marvel Studios isn't involved in a Spider character or any Marvel characters. That said, I've really, really enjoyed the trailers and clips that have been released, and I think there is potential for Morbius to actually be a pretty good movie and actually have some kind of cool multiverse ties because Michael Keaton is playing Adrian Toomes. Is it MCU? Is Andrew Garfield in it? I don't know, but those questions do have me a bit excited, also a bit exhausted. So I ultimately just need somebody to prove to me that this movie exists because it has been the most delayed major movie of all time, taking the crown from the New Mutants, and that was a movie that went quietly into the night. So if we're taking these additional months to add Andrew Garfield, I'm in. If it ends up being like Venom or Venom Let There Be Carnage, I'm out. So I think Morbius could very well end up on the year-end list at a similar place to where I have it now, but it could also exceed expectations. So I have it ahead of a couple things, just maybe out of curiosity.
if it was going to be any higher on your list, I was going to be worried. Like it was going to be the new version of me ranking Venom high at my list last year.
Listen, I think people might end up being. Of course, we might not be, but we might end up being surprised by Morbius. Those trailers, I think the trailers look very, very good. And maybe that's just Jamie does not. Jamie's face says Jamie does not think those trailers look good. But I'm in for Morbius. I think Morbius looks pretty good, and I know enough about it, I guess, to have put it ahead of a couple other things and rank it number 9. And Aaron has taste, so with the 9 spot. So.
Don't congratulate me yet. Layla talking about Kerplunk in the chat, and I'm like, that is real. This is Don't Break the Ice. This is Kerplunk. This is all those treacherous children's games. So what is it? Where are we at? At 8, I have Love and Thunder, and I love the cast so much.
Ooh.
I take back my taste.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Like that's fine. I just like once again. Everyone keeps saying it's amazing. Like everybody keeps saying it's amazing. Taika's a genius. All this other stuff. I just haven't seen it. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be great. Like I love Tessa Thompson. Like the whole shot, But I just don't know. I have no idea. I'm waiting to see.
Wow.
I know there's a bunch of Thor fans. Y'all gonna be mad at them when they do something else. Away.
Are they even Thor fans or are they just Taika fans?
I guess, the funny thing is whenever we inevitably do the big MCU ranking thing, I'm going to have to think a lot about all that stuff because I don't know, It's so funny. I just laugh. I'm like, whatever.
I've never seen the comment section fly as fast as it is right now. We have a comment from Layla, Falcons Nat. Aaron Perrine, I am arresting you on suspicion of lack of taste. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense when questioned on something that you later rely on in court.
Layla's going to be mad when I pull up with Charlie Cox. Go ahead, Jamie.
Literally, it's that Murdoch over there.
Aaron dodges legal troubles. All right.
I should have popped a Xanax before this, you guys.
No kidding.
This is crazy. I didn't expect this one to be so unhinged. Russell Crowe, what's going on?
Oh God. All right. I know I'm gonna get shit for my number 8. I know it. And let me tell you, I love the first one. I'm gonna love the second one. The only reason it's number 8 is because, as I've said 1,000 times, I'm more of a live action fan, so Spider-Verse is number 8 for me. And the cinch, the reason why it's number 8 is because my favorite character from the first one has not been confirmed, and that is Nick Cage as so give me proof that Nick Cage is in this movie and it will get bumped higher. The first one's the greatest animated film ever made. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for all these movies, you guys. You're torturing us, Brandon.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were about to put Doctor Strange number 8 because you said you liked the first one, and I was like, wait a second. Wanda Maximoff is in Doctor Strange. What is Jamie about to do here? Who took over Jamie's body and put Morbius in last? I'm never gonna get over that. I don't know why. I'm apparently a Morbius defender, and I don't want to be. It has just happened. I don't know. I need to revoke that title for myself. But yeah, good points. I don't know. I can't really say good points because I don't have Spider-Verse in the same place. I'm so sorry that we're doing this. Jenna, I'm going to stop rambling.
This is showing the breadth of like what we're getting this year from Marvel in the fact of like how different our rankings are and like what we all think is going to be towards the top is so wildly different. And I think that's really cool. People are going to probably be mad at my number 8, but it is genuinely a thing of everything else above it. I am a little bit more excited for, but it is a thing of like, I'm very excited for this movie. I think it is going to surprise me. It will be high on my like year-end rankings. I can probably guarantee it. But it is a thing of like just through process of elimination, it had to fall where it did, and it is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. There's so much about this movie. There's so much about this movie that I am excited for. It's just I'm more excited for everything else on the list. So
it's funny that people are getting mad only because it's like they're gonna get mad till number 1 because people are excited for every one of these movies.
I know. Again, it's like an embarrassment of riches, honestly.
Yeah.
Guys, we didn't just go to jail. We just bought the whole prison.
We own the raft at this point.
You were my last hope, says Ryan. Wow.
Something had to be number 8. just it had to happen. I'm sorry.
Wow. Oh man, I'm surprised by that, but all right, we push on, guys. We got to keep going. Number 8. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Oh, it hurts. Oh, I am excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan. I love the characters. I love James Gunn's work. I love watching the characters interact. I can't wait to see how 2014 Gamora is integrated into a holiday. Like, that's going to be kind of funny, I think. By this time, she will only have interacted with the Guardians in Endgame's final battle and whatever parts of Thor Love and Thunder they appear in. So I'm really, really excited to get a look at what the Guardians are doing post-Endgame. That said, I kept it down at number 8 because it is a holiday special after all. And if Mark Hamill isn't playing Santa Claus, then it's going to stay there. And I think it could just be like I Am Groot, like a contained, silly adventure. Who knows? Maybe James Gunn is going to make us cry on Christmas. Either way, I don't want to do that anyway. So it's number 8. And if Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was on this list, it would be way higher than either of these. But I think there's just bigger events and bigger characters and moments that I am more excited for than the holiday special. And that hurts to say because I really, really love the Guardians. Like they're really one of my favorite parts of the MCU. So yeah, Nova's not going to appear in Guardians Damon streams. Don't give me hope. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if it does, then like I said, my rankings at the end of the year will be very different. Aaron Perrine, good luck, soldier.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting down to stuff where everybody's going to have like wild reaction to it. I like to preface this with, I made this list before Monday. It did not go back. So a lot of things happened this week that probably would have changed or at least made me think about changing the rankings. But I love Richard. So I didn't want to put more work on Richard. I don't want to do that. Richard does a lot of stuff for us behind the scenes. That's my guy. I don't want to have him do it. So it's going to, of course, be Moon Knight, which now, of course, I look silly, but it's fine. And I love, Rich, I hope you appreciate this. I hope you appreciate it so much because everybody's like, of course, it looks good. It looks amazing. All this stuff looks amazing to me. It's all just personal taste stuff.
Pirate radio crash this and just yell at all of us.
Of course, Jim's gonna be mad. But see, I have a feeling Jim's gonna be mad at all of us because I don't know what's gonna happen with the rest of it. If it wasn't the first 3, if it wasn't Dylan at 1, 2, 3, 4, he's gonna be upset. So it is what it is.
Speak of the devil, he shall appear. Jim Viscardi heard Moon Knight, and he just popped up in the comment section. He hasn't been here the whole time, and all of a sudden, Jim learned how to. He's like the mad cat typer. So yeah, Moon Knight number 7, Aaron. Shame. You should have waited till that trailer. No, listen. I'm not shaming
pile
anybody.
on, Brandon.
Yeah.
No, Aaron, I think you have a fantastic list. Your opinion is wonderful.
I know.
It's fine. It is what it is.
You told us on Friday, you were like, make sure to send your list to Richard. And then it's like on Monday, it was like, oh, okay. Now we have new content that we have to acknowledge, but our lists are already done.
I'll tell you what, though. Aaron he gets redeemed, though, for the Chappelle Show reference. No matter what his list was, the Chappelle Show reference got him right out of jail. Jamie?
All right. I know it's going to seem crazy putting this above Spider-Verse, but Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is a little higher on my list because I love Christmas stuff, as I discussed many times during Hawkeye. It's my jam. I know it's going to be an homage really to the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I'm so excited about that. I'm on the same page. If we don't get Mark Hamill as Santa Claus, I'm going to be really bummed. But as I said previously, like the Star Wars Holiday Special is where we're introduced to Boba Fett. Literally anything could happen in this. And I think that that's exciting and fun. And I just love to have, new Christmas content because, you run out every year watching the same movies every year for the past 30 years of your life. So.
Oh my God, I thought about Nova being introduced in the holiday special and then having to wait 20 years to actually get a Nova series. It's fair. It's fair. All fair points from Jamie.
So my number 7, again, I will preface everything that is in my top 10, I adore. Like, I still cannot believe we are in a year where I am getting shows or movies about the characters that we are getting. This is a character I've been a huge fan of in the comics since she first debuted. I'm so excited to see how they adapt her. But that being said, as BD mentioned, there are possibly some changes that are being made that I'm kind of like curious to see how it all comes out. Miss Marvel is at number 7, but I think it might end up being ranked higher for me at the end of the year because I am very excited to see what the show has to entail. It's just, again, it had to fall at number 7 because of kind of what we've heard about how they might be changing things.
You can just tell that we're all scared.
We are.
We're all like, I want you to like me, please. I
Yep.
can't take the meanness. I feel you. It's terrifying. But yeah, our prefacing is a direct result of internet abuse. So here we are, just soliciting more of it. But yeah, Jen, I agree with you. I think I'm a little apprehensive about Miss Marvel. I'm hopeful. I hope I love it, but also just the commentary around it is a little discouraging. My number 7. I'm so sorry, Jenna. It is She-Hulk. She-Hulk number 7. Having the Hulk in it, bonus for me. That's cool. There are other characters also going to be very exciting to see. Jen Walters being a lawyer, you know, maybe that tells you who we're going to see. But all right, I think the CGI She-Hulk looks really good. The Disney Plus Day footage that we saw, it got me excited enough to rank it number 7. I'm not like a huge She-Hulk fan like Jenna is, obviously. I think the character's very cool. I think it's cool that we're going to probably see Titania, character introduced in the first Secret Wars book. I think the idea of a legal drama, like which that logo would seem to imply in the MCU, is pretty exciting. And for that reason, I'm pretty excited for She-Hulk. I'm not excited enough to rank it above the things that are ahead of it. It's like ranking the 7 feels like, oh, I don't want to watch it, but like that's not the case at all. I am quite excited for She-Hulk. I'm quite excited for the things that we're going to see in it and the characters we're going to see in it, in addition to the titular lawyer. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Like I have really nothing bad to say about She-Hulk at all. I feel like I have to defend it for being 7, but really, like that's not a bad rank. It's not an insult. There's just other stuff that I am more excited for, and also I think I'm always going to lean movies over series, so that probably gave a few things a leg up as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
I respect
Give me
that.
Law and Order MCU.
The entire chat is like trying to pit us against each other, but no, I respect your reasoning. Like I get that. So
Jim Viscardi was less forgiving when his favorite thing was ranked 7th.
All
Jenna,
of
I
our lists
appreciate
are so
you.
chaotic that it's like I cannot fault anybody anymore. Like we've all just like shot from the hip, and like people are dunking on us for it. So it's like as long as you can justify it, I'm good.
Yeah, and it's also like I was talking to you guys, but I didn't really say this on the show. But before we went live, we were all talking like we all are all pretty excited for all of these things, except Morbius, for Jenna and Jamie, who keep pointing out that their top 10 are the things they're excited for. There are 11 things on the list. But yeah, no, like it is just like we keep, like we are excited. Whatever. I don't need to explain this stuff. If you guys want, I think our comment section is just playing along. If anybody who we don't know their name talks, then they continue being anonymous in my mind.
I mean, it's so weird because like I'm just sitting here like laughing about it because it really is like showing you like what everybody's like personal tastes are. Like this is way more reflective, I feel like, of the personal taste than the 2021 rankings are, at least for right now. And I have Multiverse of Madness at 6 because we've seen so much of it that I am hyped, but I'm also actively avoiding most social media, so I don't know anything else about it, because we did that with Spider-Man, and if I had not known certain things were coming in Spider-Man, it would have been at like 0. It would have been levitating above the rest of the list from my 2021 list. So I am excited, I am hyped, but it's not going to increase anymore because I'm not getting on Reddit. I'm going to probably end up muting it on Twitter later, and I avoid my AMP stuff on my phone. So yeah, there it is.
Aaron, I like that you have a fine line between I know nothing and I know too much.
I know way too much, way too much. Even the stuff that's getting rumored, I'm like, I see Chris Quillian's wonderful mug telling me about certain actors being asked to come back, and I'm like, no, Chris, no, stop. Throw my phone across the room. I don't want to know anymore. Let me be
I'll
surprised.
say this. I saw a Disney publicist tweet, if you talk about leaks or spoilers for any of my movies, don't expect any access or anything like that, and I appreciate that.
I saw that tweet too,
like,
and
please,
That's awesome.
like just like if you walk out of the Eternals premiere and spoil the post-credit scene, you probably shouldn't get an interview for the next one. So if you are spoiling stuff, if you're talking about leaks, if you're talking about things that are coming out of test screenings and things that start circulating, that should be punishable. And obviously fans, you can't, like, there's nothing you can do to them, but if people who are supposed to be professionals are talking about things that they damn well know they're not supposed to be talking about, then that's how it should be. So anyway, number 6 for Jenna, or for Jamie.
Me. Jenna really said it better than I ever could, and it's there's just such a sadness around the new Black Panther that it bumps it lower on the list than it would have been. It's just like a dark cloud, and I'm hoping, like, I'm interested. I want to see more of these characters as well, but it's just that Black Panther's next on my list for all the reasons Jenna said.
Yeah. All right. I agree with that as well. Jenna, go ahead.
Jim, please don't kill me. I would have ranked this slightly. I would have ranked this slightly higher if we had seen the trailer. Like, if I had seen the trailer before I made my list.
No.
Moon Knight is at number 6 because it kind of had to be. Again, everything else I'm more excited for. So I still am so hyped for the show, more so since we saw the trailer. Listen to our bonus episode if you want to see the reactions to that. But yeah, there's still just a lot that is unknown, and I'm not an expert in Moon Knight comics and his universe yet, so I don't really know what to expect yet, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. So it's at number 6 for me. I still am so excited for it, though.
Moon Knight number 6. Wow, I'm gonna tell Oscar Isaac on you guys. All right, my number 6.
Chat. Jim is he's so mad at all of us.
My number 6. It's also Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The first Black Panther is obviously, it's just a masterclass in storytelling with real meaning and perspectives and acting, and just all around, it's a very good movie. That said, I almost put this lower on my list because I'm just nervous about it. Like, without Chadwick, obviously, there's nothing they can do about that. But without him, like, that is the elephant in the room that we're all going to feel the whole time we watch this movie, which I think, for me at least, makes it a little bit harder to, like, just be gung-ho and super excited. And also, like, there's all this stuff going on with one of the film stars, and whether you agree with that person and their stances or you disagree, just even having to have that conversation around a film is kind of takes a little bit of the excitement away from me. And I don't really agree. So honestly, yeah, it's just like on top of, like, they didn't need controversy. They didn't need difficulty with this film. It's after losing Chadwick, and now, like, because Ryan Coogler already has the impossible task of handling T'Challa's story. Like, what are they going to do? And now he's just a whole bunch of stuff on top of that. So will we hold that against this movie when we're feasting our eyes on it? For me, no, I'm going to go in. I'm going to try to enjoy it. I don't want to try to think about what's going on with actors in the real world and their bad opinions while watching the film. I want to go in and enjoy it. We're getting Namor. We're getting, like, really cool stuff in this film. Big world building. We're going back to Wakanda. There's a lot to be excited for. At the same time, I do feel a bit of apprehension getting super excited because of all the things surrounding it. And I think that's a shame, and maybe that is a bit unfair. It's like, I don't feel like I'm holding it against it. Like, it's like, that's my feeling. Like, I don't know. I think it could be a very good movie. I hope it's very special. No, Namor is not confirmed. That's just the rumor that we're going to have Namor in this film, but that's the expectation. But yeah, Black Panther, a movie I'm quite excited for. Wanted to be more excited for, and it landed number 6 for me.
All right. So at number 5, I have Secret Invasion, which we know even less about than most other stuff on this list. We don't even have any images, like nothing. We got, like, just, the crickets chirping in my background of my mind. But I will say that some of the stuff here near the top is things that I read when I had a lot more time, either when I was underemployed or when I didn't have a job yet. And those were glorious, glorious days. Wonderful, wonderful days. Just reading comics, eating terrible food, riding my bike around the neighborhood. So that little bit of nostalgia probably engenders that for me. And it seems like we will be delving into Jamie and Jenna's corner, which is spy, adventure, espionage stuff, which I think would be really fun. I think it'll be really interesting. And you can't really say no to Sam. So yeah, that's number 5 for me.
Nice. All right, me. What do I got? Sorry, Jim. Moon Knight is no. I mean, come on, I broke the top 5. You can't actually be mad about that. The only reason it's lower than the first 4 is because I don't know a lot about Moon Knight, but I'm here for Oscar Isaac, baby. Let me get that in my eyeballs. And also, Ethan Hawke fan. I'm ready for it. What are you gonna say? I'm excited for all this stuff, you guys.
Jamie just gets in and gets out and is like, I'm saying only what I need to because I am not incriminating myself further. And I respect it.
I'm with Aaron. My number 5 is Secret Invasion. A part of it is that I will be surprised if the show actually comes out this year, because like with the scheduling of all of the shows and the Star Wars shows on top of that, like if we do get this year, I will be so excited. But I don't even feel like that's 100% guaranteed at this point. But the cast is so good. Like I am so excited to see Emilia Clarke and Olivia Colman and all of the new additions to the MCU in this series. And like Aaron said, the spy and espionage aspect of it is just going to be really fun. And it is the challenge of how do you adapt something as big as Secret Invasion into a TV show and still have it feel like it has ramifications without bringing in every aspect of the MCU. So I'm curious to see what all of that brings. So that's why it's at number 5 for me.
I also have Secret Invasion at number 5. I love the Secret Invasion comic. I once asked Kevin Feige, like, hey, are you going to try to match that scope? And he said no. And that immediately sucked some of my joy out of the room. Because he like he said, I think if this interview's on the site, he said like that would be Endgame level. Like that's every character twice in a lot of, like, you know what I mean? So I have a lot of high hopes for this one. If it does come out this year, I also don't know if this is going to be a 2022 series, but I think it's supposed to be, but they never give us dates. So they're able to just kind of play it fast and loose. But I'm hoping Nick Fury and Talos have a great story where Skrulls are just popping up left and right. The whole MCU starts to feel claustrophobic because those threats are just constantly and unpredictably around. I'll forever mourn the fact that we won't see Jessica Drew try to convince Tony Stark that he's been a Skrull all along because we don't have Spider-Woman or Iron Man. But I am thrilled to find out that Natasha in Endgame was a Skrull and that Scarlett Johansson is coming back to play Black Widow again in the future. But also, who knows? Maybe Quake will show up, and that would be really exciting too. Not that I'm an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stan, but I would love to see the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. nation rise and get the excitement there. So that's my number 5, Secret Invasion. I want it to end the year higher. I have a feeling this is going to be one that ends up lower at the end of the year, but I'm very hopeful for Secret Invasion.
Okay. So I guess probably the real weird thing that ties all of my stuff together is like a belief, sort of giving people the benefit of the doubt, as evidenced by the Morbius slick rankings, just trying to give things like the chance to be what they can be. TJ, I know you're in the background right now. I have Wakanda Forever at 4. And I really do believe production issues, weird other stuff with the cast, the apparent absence of Chadwick Boseman. Ryan Coogler made it so they started making Rocky movies again, y'all. Y'all really think you're gonna let it stop him? You really think so? I got faith in them. I got faith in the entire cast. I feel like they're gonna do right by Chadwick's legacy. I feel like it's gonna be good. And I'm willing to see what they can do before we run behind and cling to, what we know, instead of trying to forge a path forward, which is what Chadwick would have wanted, is for us to forge a path forward. So
I also think in Black Panther, with the three of us having it lower than you, it's also a project that we haven't seen anything for, and we haven't really heard anything official for. We've only heard the controversies and the tragedies. Like, we haven't heard anything or seen anything official yet. So I think that given that we haven't seen anything a lot, you're having more faith than the rest of us, and that is probably smart, because it's like how Moon Knight would have jumped for you. Not had you seen what you saw. Once we see something for Black Panther, it'll probably jump for all of us. We've only heard the negative so far.
If they had just put the freaking teaser out on Friday, it would have been higher. But they did it Saturday morning when me and Jim Viscardi are on, early in the morning, and then it comes out, and I'm like, well, dang it, I already did my stuff. Richard's probably not even awake right now. So it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, Jamie, we're getting into the final 4 here.
Yeah. In a different year, my 4 would be number 1. But this year's crazy. So my 4 is Secret Invasion. I'm so excited for this. I've said it before, but I love Olivia Colman so much. I have the favorite tattoo that I can't repeat on the show because it's a bad word. It's if no one from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up, I'm gonna be fine. But the fact that it's even a discussion thrills me to no end. Just everything about the show I'm so excited for. Just like you said, the spy aspect. I mean, I love that we don't know a lot, and I hope that we continue to not know a lot.
TJ said, "Jamie, say the word."
No, I will get fired if I say what my tattoo says. Search my Instagram, you'll find it.
We already had somebody
chaos.
earlier. Somebody in the chat earlier threatened to call Viacom on our rankings. So we don't. No. I think we're already pushing it here.
They're just gonna be like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you want us to do with that? Jenna, go ahead.
My number 4, I know, like, I am shocked at how low everybody else has this, but I totally understand and respect it. My number 4 is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I think it is the thing of this is probably going to be one of the most surprising things in the MCU that we get this year. Just the amount of possibilities of, like we said, Mark Hamill potentially playing Santa Claus, all of the homages to the Star Wars special. Could we get Adam Warlock as like a Jesus motif, and that's the first time he appears? Like, everything is possible. And I think it's also this thing where James Gunn, in the interim since Guardians 2, the work that he's done on the Suicide Squad and the work that he's done on Peacemaker has been so personal and so just kind of like creatively interesting. And knowing that he's had this idea percolating for a while and he's finally getting to bring it to fruition, I'm so excited to see what that entails. I think it's just going to be wild. And I think by the time we actually get it, everyone is probably going to love it. We're just at this point of like we've said, we don't really know anything about it yet. But for me, I have enough faith in the creative process of that James is going to do. And I think it's going to be really special.
I hope you're right. I think you probably will be right, but I hope you are. I got to go back to a comment from Damon Streams about calling Viacom. Damon Streams said, "We will call Nick Elodian himself." And it actually took me a second to be like, who is Nick Elodian? And that is one of the Viacom CBS sister channels. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. My number 4. If a movie of this quality was getting a sequel, if this was a sequel to a movie of this quality, and it was in live action or directly tied to the MCU, I think it would certainly be number 1 on my list. However, I'm a live action fan over an animation fan, and I'm also just a world building fan over everything. But I am still super, super hyped, and that's why it's only number 4. Spider-Verse. Somehow didn't make it higher on my list because I think there are a couple things I'm just somehow more excited for. I think Spider-Verse is going to be dope. The first one is a masterpiece. It's the best Spider-Man movie ever made, in my opinion. And yes, I have seen No Way Home. I think Spider-Verse is a better movie. I probably had more fun watching No Way Home because I love the live action nostalgia. It's a sucker for everything I like about Marvel movies and No Way Home and Spider-Man. But Spider-Verse is just a great film. I think it's a better movie. Shamik Moore's Miles Morales is back. Can't wait to hear that, see that. It's going to a bunch of different worlds. Everything they've said about this movie having different animations for different worlds, like, it just looks good. Plain and simple. Spider-Verse is going to be great. It's number 4, and that's where I'm at with it. I can't wait to see it. There's just a few things I am more excited for, which is amazing. And that just shows how spoiled we are because I am tremendously hyped for Spider-Verse in the first place. All right. Anybody want to compliment, hate on anybody's top 4 here before we move on?
I think you're all doing beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderfully. Such handsome lists. All right, Aaron, number 3.
Well, we're in the top 3, so it gets spicy now. I got Ms. Marvel at 3. So I am a big Kamala Khan fan. Somewhere out there, Matt is very, 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 very happy to see me carry the flag and carry the banner for Kamala Khan and any Captain Marvel related things. Shout out to Matt. I similarly to Wakanda Forever, all we're hearing is like the stuff that's like weird about it, but not a ton has been said about like the actual meat and text of everything. And if you know her origin, there are some very weird ways that this could go, some interesting ways this could go. So it might end up being a little bit more important than it would seem on the surface, because it seems like a sort of like teen show, like on the surface of it, right? It's even shot like a lot of those like Canadian shows. It looks like from like the little clips that they put out. But I think it could still end up being all right. I think it could still end up being good. Like I'm so hesitant to like shut stuff down before people like put it out. And it probably compromises my thinking because sometimes things look bad and they are bad, or things you hear things that are bad and then you see them and you're like, oh, that was terrible. What happened? So I'm willing to give it the grace. I really enjoy the character. She's really important for some of the stuff that they're laying out. Because if you're ever going to do Young Avengers, there's no way you're not going to have Miss Marvel be a part of it and not have her be a key part of it as well, along with the parts of the Marvels. I also just kind of miss Carol. I hope Carol show up too. So yeah, that's my number 3.
I do want to welcome PMD17 to the party here. First time interacting, always watch/listen on YouTube or Spotify. We appreciate you.
Thank
Podcast
you.
Listeners are amazing. And even if you don't join us live or comment, we appreciate you being there. Thanks for dropping a compliment. We love feeling good about ourselves. We're amazing, and you should tell us. Jamie, go ahead.
Ooh, number 3. I got Thor Love and Thunder. I mean, Ragnarok is one of the best movies. I love to laugh. I'm so excited about Natalie Portman's coming back. There's so much to look forward to for this one. I'm really hyped. The only reason this is not number 1 or number 2, and as I said it last week, is that Loki's probably not going to be in it. And a Thor without Loki is it bums me out a little. That's the only reason it's so low in my number 3 spot.
That's fair. That is fair. It's
I respect it. My number 3 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. I think this movie, like, I am an animation fan if it like does interesting things for the medium, and I think the first one did that in spades. I know it's the type of thing where like a year after the film came out, people were still noticing like, oh, the frame rate for when Miles is swinging, it like escalates over the course of the movie as he gets better at being a Spider-Man. It's like there's so many cool, there's like so much, there's an embarrassment of riches in terms of stuff that they throw into those movies that is just so fascinating and so true to the nature of comics. And I am so excited to see what they do with this one. And I mean, bringing in Oscar Isaac for more than just one post-credit scene, it's like you have to be excited for that.
And we are. All right, my number 3. We're moving a lot faster now that we're just saying things we love. Like nobody's getting as mad at us anymore.
We're not having to preface every single option on the list.
Yeah. My number 3 is Moon Knight. Honestly, this was my number 3 before the trailer. I didn't move it after the trailer. This is the list I submitted. You can ask Richard. If you want me to, I'll bring him up. You could say, he'll tell you this was the list all along. Moon Knight, we now know it looks great, and I don't have as much comic book knowledge about Moon Knight as Jim J.L. Salvascardi does, but I have read a bunch, and I think it's really exciting to get this character. I really hope they dive into the weirdness, the darkness, and it seems like they are. Could be grimacing, could also be vibrant, could also be very funny. Like Moon Knight's a very witty character. I think there's potential for this to be a great and greatly entertaining show, and a really cool expansion for the lore of the MCU. That trailer, though, after that, like I'm happy I put this number 3. Looks scary, looked promising, costume looks tremendous. Stars Oscar Isaac, like that's bonus points right there. And come on, I'm riding with Poe Dameron, plain and simple. Like Moon Knight number 3.
Oh man, everybody! I love hearing everybody's like explanations. Like it's like you get to learn more about your friends. Mm-hmm. Like, and who doesn't love to learn more about their friends?
Live on the air,
stuff that we did not talk about beforehand. We didn't get any of this stuff before. So I guess when I was little, my mother especially encouraged like a sort of like interest in form and sort of like aesthetic and changing aesthetic and how things and tropes and stuff work together. You don't just like, we watch TV, but also we have conversations about TV and how things sort of subvert or, sort of play with, or in movies, like how this choice sort of illustrates things, like the thing that Jenna pointed out about Spider-Verse Part 1 was something that blew my mind later when you go back and rewatch it. Like it's totally true. I mean, I've gotten to the point where one of my favorite parts of that whole thing is someone getting hit in the head with a bagel.
Yes.
That is funny. One of the best Comic Cons. Back when there were cons, Like one of the funniest things was someone actually staging that with cosplay. It was delightful. And for playing with form, I have She-Hulk 2. Because I love the idea of a meta like law show. Mama Perrine also loves Law and Order SVU. Watched a lot of it over her shoulder because she had the remote control, which means you can't watch whatever I want to watch. Gotta watch what she wants to watch. So I'm totally into it. Like your girl, my girlfriend loves Orphan Black. So she's over the moon. She's like, oh, what? She's gonna be all these Marvel things that you're gonna end up watching. I'm not gonna twist your arm to watch. Oh my god, this is amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Jen brings to the MCU, seeing their awesome 70s haircuts and outfits in that one part of it, and possibly getting our first Kevin Feige in the MCU thing, possibly ever, which will be delightful.
Yes, amazing.
I only just realized that you all still have She-Hulk. Like, wow, respect to She-Hulk. My goodness.
Leading. That's a great segue into my number 2, which is She-Hulk. I don't know if I've talked about this on this show before, but in my old apartment, my roommate made a rule, which is if Jamie talks about Tatiana Maslany, you got to drink. Because I talked about Tatiana Maslany way too much, and I had been waiting for her to join the MCU for years in some capacity. As Aaron mentioned, Orphan Black. If you have not seen Orphan Black, it is some of the greatest acting that's ever existed on this earth. And Tatiana Maslany could be playing any single character in the MCU, and it would be probably in my top 2. And just She-Hulk, I'm stoked. Also, talking about me and my many tattoos, the first tattoo I ever got the day after I graduated high school was a Reservoir Dogs tattoo. So Tim Roth coming back is a big deal for me. So I'm just hyped all around.
I'm like, if I had that rule in my household, everyone would have like alcohol poisoning. it would be absurd. My number 2 is Thor: Love and Thunder. This is definitely the movie I'm the most excited for. It seems like realistically, the summer that we're going to probably have in the MCU of Thor: Love and Thunder and She-Hulk is going to just break me as a person. Like, I am so looking forward to this era of the MCU. It's going to be a very fun summer. I loved Ragnarok. I love what Taika brought to the mythos. I love exploring the more MCU kind of cosmic stuff, everything about this movie, and also bringing in Jane Foster as Thor, which I was obsessed with her comics when she first debuted as Thor. That was like one of the first things that I actively had to go buy every single issue because I was so excited about that run. So, and hearing Taika talk about how he can't believe he's getting away with certain things on this movie only makes me more excited for this movie because I have no idea what that can mean. It could be the weirdest stuff we've ever seen, and I welcome it with open arms.
Yeah, that's solid. My number 2, because I love movies with a lot of characters that I have already met before. This movie seems to be bringing in characters from all over the place, putting them in one place, changing identities, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it just seems like it's going to be the most epic way to follow up some of the stuff we've seen recently, and that is Thor: Love and Thunder. Because I tried to pull an Aaron Perrine fake out. I don't know if it worked.
I was thinking, I'm like, is he going to do it? He's going to do it.
No, listen, it's got the Guardians of the Galaxy in it. You know I love the Guardians. I'm just going to read what I wrote. Should come no surprise, my top 2 are both movies. I think I may always prefer movies over shows because they tend to offer a super complete arc with a clear beginning and end. Thor: Love and Thunder is about to give us Jane Foster as Thor in the MCU. I can't believe that. Taika's coming back, and the whole gang post-Endgame for the first time. Like, this is going to be hilarious. I hope it's not too funny. My only criticism about Thor Ragnarok is that I didn't feel stakes because I was too busy laughing. And I know, like, criticizing Thor Ragnarok in any way is a jailable offense, but I do have my criticism there. But, I mean, everything is all Moon Knight and Doctor Strange right now, and Thor 4 is coming later this year with Guardians and all these characters in it, and Valkyrie getting other new powers where she can, like, revive people and accidentally inhabit their bodies. Like, we're not talking about this movie as much as I'm surprised we're not talking about this movie because there's so many other things we're already talking about. So I think Thor 4 is really going to be great. Hemsworth has a new stride in playing Thor. I love Shakespearean Thor. That said, I also enjoy the new Thor that they've really dialed in, and I'm excited to see him again. The new costume, like I'm very excited for Thor 4 in every which way, and I think it's going to be fantastic. And it has a lot of the makings for things I like. And it was really tough between my 2 and my 1, but Thor 4 just got beat by another film, and I guess you'll find out when we come back around.
Layla is in the chat trying to arrest you for hating fun.
Wow. Wow. We love to have fun.
We do.
Aaron, what's your
so,
number one movie, Aaron? Or show?
Well, it's going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. I take you back to our No Way Home spoiler podcast where Chris Killian, who I enjoy, love you, Chris, talked about getting to see that movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, with his son and how excited he was to see the emotion on his face and how much he enjoyed it. And I feel like the only movie I've seen probably in the last 10 years that made me want, because I really spent a lot of time thinking about that. Like, I really do. And I probably am a little bit too sensitive because Chris was like, what? You call me old crap? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But
Chris
I really thought about it a lot because it would be so meaningful. It would be so interesting and so happy. It was like so much joy in that moment. And I really would have really loved to have seen the first one with my mother or my father. And I feel like the same thing's going to happen with this arc. It's something I'm going to be able to share with people, you know, later on in life, because it is a really, really good movie. I know I took a lot of heat for having Thor down there after Taika's masterclass with Ragnarok, but freaking Into the Spider-Verse is better, okay? Get Stephen A. Smith with it. It's better. It is. What? It's better. It is.
Wow, that was pretty
amazing.
good.
Wow.
It's a really good movie. It's amazing. And I think they're going to do it again. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing. It's going to be great. You're going to go. You're going to watch it. You're going to sit there and watch it, even though it's not really connected to MCU, although maybe Tom Holland might be in it. They dodged. Vegeta, were you the one to talk to them about it?
No.
Who? Somebody from the site talked to them like 2 weeks ago and asked about it.
And I think it was Patrick.
It was Patrick. And they dodged the heck out of Patrick talking about it. So it could very well loop into all of this. We just don't know. We'll have to see. I'm super excited. Whatever they choose to feed me, I will eat up gladly. Like, oh boy, I love trash. Just gonna eat it. Love trash. Love it. Great.
Can we get a how about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? Oh God, it's so funny. I love it. Don't let me stop. We're doing go, Jamie, go.
Aaron, you just won the day.
What a hard act to follow.
I know.
Oh my God. Very surprised that BD and I have the same top two. I think, if I'm looking at this right. Here's the thing. You know, I didn't really like Doctor Strange. I cannot believe that the number one movie on my list is a Doctor Strange sequel, but it is Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. And the truth of the matter is, I don't think anyone will be surprised. The only reason it's number one is because Wanda's in it. I mean, let's be honest. I just want more Wanda content. I'm excited for more Wanda content. But no, in addition to that, Sam Raimi, are you kidding me? That is just like, I never in a million years thought Sam Raimi would make another comic book movie. It's crazy. And also, I love multiverse stuff. I've always been so into that stuff. And I love that we're getting so much more of it with Loki and Spider-Man. And I am ready for more. And the things that could happen in this movie are exciting. And I really hope that it lives up to the hype we've all put it in our heads.
Can I ask you something about this movie?
Me?
If yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of, like, obviously one of the conversations, whether you're on Reddit, you're on Comic Book, you're on Twitter, wherever, a very popular theory is that Wanda is going to be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if that ends up being true?
Open to it as long as it's executed well. I mean, I think it would be. I think it would be interesting, and just in terms of the way her arc was in WandaVision. I don't know. I would just have to see it executed. I'm not like going to say, no, how dare, because I love a lady villain. And if my lady becomes a lady villain, all right, that's how she started. So we'll see.
All right.
Put her on the wheel. Put her on the wheel, Jamie. Put her on the wheel with evil ladies.
Jenna, what's your number one?
Unsurprisingly, my number one pick is She-Hulk. I still cannot believe the show is happening. I still cannot believe that one of my favorite comic characters and my favorite actress ever are combining together for one thing. As Jamie said, Orphan Black is one of the best shows ever. It is my favorite show. I highly recommend watching it. We have enough time between now and when She-Hulk comes out that you could realistically binge all 5 seasons. I think this show is really going to surprise people. I think the legal drama aspect is going to lead to so many fun cameos. I think we're going to speculate about this show in a way that we haven't really with the other MCU shows, just in terms of how many different elements from the universe and how many different character cameos could be possible. And then at the same time, we get her breaking the fourth wall and, as Aaron said, potentially yelling at Kevin Feige and stuff. Like, it is going to be so much fun to see that all realized in the MCU. And then to have Jen just be in the universe now. She could join the Avengers. She could just hang out with the Hulk family. Like, anything is possible. So I cannot wait for this show.
I'm very much looking forward to our She-Hulk guidebook episode where we do what we just did with Moon Knight, where Jim kind of just was the free class and session for everybody to learn about Moon Knight, to know what comics to read. When we do that for She-Hulk with Jenna, that is going to be a big, big day. And I am very excited to go on eBay during the show and buy up all the comics she recommends on the spot.
Awesome.
And try to get my She-Hulk knowledge as up to par as Jenna's is. But that's a good pick. I'm shocked. Can't believe it. No, that's fun. I can't wait for She-Hulk so much that I put it number 7.
I know.
My number 1 is probably unsurprisingly to most people, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I think that this movie is just going to be gigantic. I think there's a chance that it doesn't finish number 1 on my list at the end of the year in terms of like quality ranking or favoritism rank, however we individually rank our titles at the end of the year after watching them all. But on the heels of WandaVision, which to me was such a fun event, I look back at WandaVision so fondly. Like, it was such a fun moment for us on Phase Zero. It was such a fun moment in the community, in the Marvel world, and the growth of the Scarlet Witch. On the heels of Spider-Man No Way Home, like, I just think that there's so much momentum going into Doctor Strange that it feels like it's going to be its own version of Secret Wars in a sense. I think that it's going to be that big, but I am also kind of worried because one of my criticisms of Eternals was it was too big for one time, for one thing with too many characters at the same time. So I'm kind of worried, like, well, the difference is it's probably going to do a lot of characters we've already met before, whether it's from different movie worlds. Fortunately, I'm assuming all 4 of us have seen all of those movies. We love that stuff. So it won't be really a hindrance to us, but maybe to somebody else, like, it's like, oh, who's this guy? I didn't see that movie, whatever. And they're probably also going to introduce new characters, which to me is super exciting. I want to see different universes. I hope that the reason they brought Sam Raimi back is because Sam could be like, yo, I'm back, Toby, let's do this. And that's the Spider-Man deal. The Spider-Man deal is one more Spider-Man appearance in a Marvel movie, not necessarily Tom Holland. So hopefully we get to go to the Raimiverse and visit that. And all. I just think the potential for this one is bigger than everything else on the list in terms of entertainment, size, scope. Like, I think that this could do the most. Will it? I don't know. But I think Doctor Strange has potential to be the biggest Marvel film of the year. And very exciting, but it was tough between Thor 4 and Strange 2. I think it's going to be drastically different from Strange 1. And I like Strange 1. I think it's okay. It's not my favorite movie. I certainly don't think it's bad, though. I think it's just, I think it's fine. I think it's good. So I think it's going to be a big step in size and quality and all that. So yeah, that's my number 1. If I could watch one title right now, I would watch Doctor Strange 2. And I think I'll always just prefer movies over shows. But anyway.
I said that we had the same top two, but that was incorrect. We just had the same number 1, but it's still nice.
Hey, great number 1, Jamie. Fantastic number 1.
Nice work.
Yeah. And also great number 6 choice, like taste. All right. So here, I want to wrap up the show. I didn't tell, this was an idea. I would have prefaced this and gave you guys a moment to prepare, but there really was no way to prepare for this anyway. Until now, I want all of us to go around and pick someone else's list that they agree with the most that isn't their own, because that's what we do here. We build an inclusive, welcoming community where we support each other. Comment section. So I'll go first. Let me look over everybody's list here. Actually, I'm going to read through everybody's list so that everybody who's listening in audio form gets a clear rundown. I won't put everybody on the spot. That was really awkward last time when I made everybody read their lists. Aaron, starting at the bottom to the top is I Am Groot, Guardians Holiday Special, Morbius, Thor Love and Thunder, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, Secret Invasion, Wakanda Forever, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and number 1, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Jamie has Morbius, I Am Groot, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, Guardians Holiday Special, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Thor Love and Thunder, She-Hulk, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, number 1. Jenna has Morbius, number 11, I Am Groot, Wakanda Forever, Doctor Strange 2, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse Part 1, Thor Love and Thunder, number 1, She-Hulk. My number 11 is I Am Groot, 10, Miss Marvel, Morbius, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, She-Hulk, Wakanda Forever, Secret Invasion, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Moon Knight, Thor Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Great time in the comment section to tell me you love my list. If you love anyone else's, just stay quiet. No, share, please let us know whose lists you love. And I'll go first. And I want to say, I think I agree most with, I like Jamie's list. I think I have to. Jamie and I mostly have stuff kind of in a similar range, I guess. So a couple things jump around, but Jamie, I like your list. I like how you have Doctor Strange number 1. I could get behind She-Hulk number 2. Jenna's thoughts on it hyped me up a little bit more. And we have some other things in pretty similar places. So Jamie, I love your list the most.
Wow,
Good job.
thank you so much. That's really nice.
So you could go second though. So sorry.
Oh, great. I love all your lists, but I'm gonna, even though Jenna has Doctor Strange really low, I'm gonna pick her list just because She-Hulk is like the one thing that I wouldn't give up, and so since she's got She-Hulk at number 1, it's a solid top 3 all around. But I'm gonna go that route with Jenna. Good job,
perfect
Jenna.
Transition. Good job, Jenna. Go ahead. Now, Jenna, you get to go third here.
I do like everybody's list. Like, I think everyone made their argument very well, which is good, because I know when we tweet these out, everyone is going to lose their minds and find ways to disagree with us on Twitter. It's going to be a fun time. But yeah, I agree with Jamie's list. I feel like we have the most things in common. I think, like, yes, I did have Doctor Strange ranked down low, but it was just because the excitement that I have for everything else is higher. So I respect the fact that it is at number 1. I think when we do our end of the year rankings, it will be pretty high up for me. So I'm going to say Jamie's list.
All right, good. Jamie, you win the day. Aaron?
Oh, well, I guess, the funny thing is I'm don't have a dance partner. But BD.
It's like, I hate y'all's lists. I hate all y'all's lists.
I can't wait for Jenna Anderson to tell us about paternity suits later this year. It's going to be great. But I'm picking BDs because I got a rep for the chat who are yelling in the background. I am excited to see. I think the way that you all talked about Love and Thunder 2 made me think about it a little bit more. It's just that I haven't seen it. Like, we haven't seen anything but a poster that may or may not be real. So, but yeah, BD, you got it, bud.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for the pity dub.
Can I ask a quick question for everybody? Like a quick down the line question?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious what everyone's most looking forward to this year that's not Marvel.
Oh,
the Batman. I mean, that's the only thing that came to mind. I'm sure there's a non-Marvel or DC movie that I am quite excited for. So I'll let someone else take it.
If Batgirl comes out this year, which is still not 100% guaranteed, that will be my number 1. But as far as things that are confirmed, Black Adam and the Batman, definitely.
Right, Dwayne. I forgot that Dwayne had something coming out this year. How could I forget? That's crazy. You know what? If I had to think about this is really silly for me, and it's gonna sound like I'm shilling for our parent company. The site. Sonic 2.
Ooh, good choice.
Interesting.
It's gonna be so weird. I thought the first one wasn't gonna be good, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. Idris Elba's in it, crooning at you as a weird anthropomorphic echidna. If that's what floats your boat, you're gonna have a great time. Yeah, that's it. Sonic.
Aaron just got that Winston Duke money.
I hope so. Yo, Ben Schwartz, holler at me. I will shill anything. Go drink the bottled water.
I'm easily Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Mission Impossible 7 is a close second, you guys. I've been waiting so long for Mission Impossible 7. It's probably the movie I'm most looking forward to this year.
Awesome.
I want to add to that, keeping it Tom Cruise and keeping it Paramount, Viacom, CBS. Top Gun is this year as well, and I think I saw a good bit of Top Gun at CinemaCon last year, and it looked pretty dope. So CinemaCon or Top Gun, it also looks pretty good. We also have The Flash this year.
Yep.
Halloween Ends. Oh, okay. Yo, honestly, if Moonfall is not your number one movie of the year, forget it. You're invalid.
Check out my
looks
Moonfall
insane.
coverage, guys.
Moonfall looks wild. It's like a couple weeks away. I'll be there day one, and I'm ready to see the Earth's gravity thrown off by the moon arriving. All right, y'all. Fantastic show. Thank you so much to Jenna, Aaron, and Jamie for enduring another ranking episode. Oh my gosh. Well, the good news is we don't have to do another one of these until December.
Thank God.
So, what a day. Time to go watch the Book of Boba Fett, which has been very okay so far. New Peacemaker tomorrow. And you can talk about Peacemaker and other DC stuff on the Comic Book Nation podcast. They have new episodes every Friday on this same Twitch channel. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you are. And that podcast is also available on all major podcast platforms. They talk about everything, not just Marvel or DC. They talk about everything over there. So check that out. All right, guys. Anybody want? Are we? Can I end the show? Anybody want to say anything?
I will say though, like I'm very curious how our end of the year rankings will go. Purely because I think there's things that we didn't include on this list because we don't know when they're coming out. Of like, what if season 2, the Werewolf by Night special, like anything else that gets moved around back and forward because of COVID. Like I feel like our lists at the end of the year are going to be completely different, and I think that'll be really fun too.
Yeah, we got to save these graphics so we can compare.
Mm-hmm. Like I think it was either the holiday special or I Am Groot. Like hasn't even filmed yet. It was supposed to film.
The
so who
holiday
knows?
special.
Like yeah, maybe it's just yeah. Anyway, all right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for a great season 2, episode 2 of Phase Zero. I hope everybody in the comment section had fun. Send us your lists. We're gonna tweet this out. We can't tweet the graphic until Friday. We got to make people go listen to the podcast. But send us your lists, and we'll throw you some retweets, some commentary. We'll treat you like you treat us. So there's a fun opportunity for that. Yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good Wednesday. I will see y'all next week.